How's it going, YouTube? It's Panda time. In this video, I'm bringing you guys a deck profile for Gammamon in BT10. If you guys are tired of the BT10 meta and you know EX3 is almost here but not quite there yet, definitely do check out Gammamon. It's a pretty cool deck. It's one of those archetypes that has been slowly getting more and more support, and it finally feels like it is a playable deck. It might still be missing some pieces to be like a top meta contender, but the deck is pretty fun and it is definitely playable right now. This is my current build that I'm testing, and I hope you guys enjoy. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, we're going to be starting off with the babies. So in this deck, we do play 5 eggs because we're kind of an aggressive deck and we have a lot of rookies. You definitely want a 5th hatch. So we have 4 Gurimons and then 1 Demimeramon. The Gurimon is really nice. You know, he is the baby for the Gammamon line and it just works really well. Our champions are 6k, so when you swing, you're going to get that draw, which is really powerful. As for Demimeramon, it's just an easy way for you to be getting extra DP when you're swinging aggressively, which this deck constantly wants to do. Now for the rookies, all of our rookies are Gammamons, and as you see, we play quite a bit of them. So we have 4 of the Gammamon that gives you card draw once you play a Tamer. The altar is really nice. We have 4 of the promo Gammamon that on play can clear 2k or less. We have 4 of the Gammamons that give you plus 2k as an inheritable, and then we have 2 of the Gammamon that lets you attack on suspended Digimon. So for our deck to work, all of our rookies have to be Gammamons, and again, as I was saying at this point, there are enough Gammamons that this is a thing you can do. Technically, you could run up to a max of 16 Gammamons. The only one we're not running as a 4 of is the attack on suspended. The main reason being that it costs 1 to Digivolve. Now this is very expensive. That said, it's balanced because the effect is very powerful, and this guy's 4k, you can easily give him more DP with your heroes and things like that. And also, you can pass on this effect, even though it's not an inheritable. There are ways that we can get this effect on our stack, as you'll see later, so it definitely does come up. The other Gammamons are nice, you know, they have good inheritables to clear the board. This one lets you get some card draw, some extra clear. Gammamon is a fine Digimon, and for the deck, we just need all of our rookies to be Gammamons. As you see, we do run, you know, a nice rookie count, and we're still gonna have the members later on to ensure that we're getting those rookies. Now, the champions is where this deck shines. You can also think of it as like a champion rush deck, if you will. We have 4 of the Gullus Gammamons, and then 3 of all the other Gammamons, as you'll see here. And on top of that, we have 2 red hybrids. So these are the same card, it's just a different art on the Agunimon. Hopefully the glare is not too bad there. So we're running 4 of the Gullus Gammamon because I feel like he is the best one. He has retaliation, so it's very annoying for your opponent to deal with it. And then on deletion is going to let you play Gammamon again, which is going to let you continue that aggression. So it definitely feels like he is the strongest one. The other ones are all pretty good. They are situationally useful, you know, but there are decisions where their effect is good. Having Blitz is nice, especially in the early game when you're getting memory choked. You can like be at 1, Digivolve into the Blitz Gammamon, still swing, put them to 1, and then they probably can't swing over it. So pretty solid. Pearson is nice, lets you clear the board and still push damage. And the cannon block can't be blocked or unblockable. It's good to close out the game. Again, we can pass on these effects to our higher stack, which is pretty good. And obviously we're running a high champion count, but this is what the deck is, right? We got these champions that have 6k, we can use their heroes or inheritables to give them more DP, and they can swing aggressively, oftentimes for 1, 2, or maybe even 3 checks. For the hybrids, we do run 2 Agunimons. You know, we're gonna see, you see we have a lot of red Tamers. As an aggressive deck, it just makes sense that we have the hybrids to close the game out. And as you'll see later on, there's even some other cooler stuff we could do with the hybrids. So I feel like 2 Agunimons is a good ratio for us. Obviously, we are jam-packed in level 4s. This is more 4s than I would run in pretty much any deck. And with the way the current build is, it makes sense in the deck. But as Gammamon evolves, maybe, you know, this will change. And if you're trying to play the build differently than I am, definitely feel free to play potentially less level 4s. I could definitely see a build where that works as well. So that is the core of our deck, you know, the Gammamons and the level 4 evolutions. Beyond that, we have our level 5s. So I do have 4 of the Canon Weissmons. This guy's pretty sick. And then we have 2 Gammamons. So let's talk about Canon Weissmon, right? One of the new cards from BT10. He's pretty powerful. In your turn, when he gets to 12k DP, he gets secure attack +1, and he gets extra DP when you suspend your tamers. And in all turns, he gets to copy the effects of all the Gammamons that are underneath him, which is pretty good. It's a really interesting effect, you know, because it's a way for you to get inheritable effects, even though they're not inheritable, right? As long as the Digimon has Gammamon in their name, you're gonna get the effect. So that means that, and obviously he digivolves from all the Gammamons, right? For 3, not 4. So if you have this guy, you're not going to be being able to block. You can get Pearson, the Blitz, again the retaliation. But it also works with these Gammamons, right? So again, if you have this guy in the stack, your Canon Weissmon can attack your own suspended Digimon. Potentially he might have Pearson as well, right? So you can get to a really strong boss monster in your level 5. If you have this guy, for example, you can play a tamer and then get the card draw, but you also get the inheritables. So you end up with a Canon Weissmon that potentially ends up being really, really powerful. On top of that, he also has an inheritable himself, which is that same effect. So if you put him under a Digimon, he is going to let that new Digimon get all the effects of the Gammamons in the stack. And this works because Gammamon can put Canon Weissmon underneath. So Gammamon is our other level 5, and he's one of those ways that our level 4s can shine. Oftentimes in this deck, our level 4s can attack, and because of hero, they'll be able to survive security. Once they do, you can joggers them into a Gammamon. It's also even better because they're different colors, so you'll oftentimes end up with a Gammamon that is like, you know, 4 colors, 12k DP. You'll do -4 to your opponent's board. You can then pick up a Canon Weissmon from your trash, put it under, and now Gammamon is also going to get the effects of all the Gammamons. So again, he might have Blitz, Pearson, Secure Attack Plus, whatever it's going on, right? Which is very, very nice. Now Gammamon is only a 2 of, but it's a nice way to close the game out, and it does work well with the rest of the deck. We only run 1 level 6. I'm currently experimenting with a War Greymon. I feel like War Greymon is a good choice because he just fits the deck in being aggressive. And again, when combined with the inheritable from the Canon Weissmon, you can get some really cool stuff. So you can potentially, you know, go into War Greymon pass and turn, but give him Blitz so he can still swing for, you know, 2 checks, not check options and all that stuff. He's just a good level 6 when we're trying to like do a lot of damage and close the game out, which this deck is obviously trying to do. So that's my current build, you know, low 5s, only 1 6, very heavy on the 4s and a lot of 3s, right? But these do make sense, and again, the Gammamon is super sick, Canon Weissmon is amazing. For now, there is no Gammamon level 6, I believe one was revealed, and honestly, he looks kind of whack. But being the main character of Ghost game, I'm sure that Gammamon's gonna get more level 6s in the future, and hopefully they'll be better for this deck. For tamers, you know, our tamers are all heroes. So we have 2 hero memory tamer, so he can give your level 4s and your rookies extra DP, which is how you get to survive with them. It's nice that, you know, usually other decks need to be level 5, our deck does not. And then we have 4 of the other hero. So this is the promo hero. And when you swing, you can suspend him and give your Gammamon secure attack +1. So you can see how you end up with these very aggressive stacks. Like as a very, very basic example, you have the Gammamon that gives you +2k. You have, let's say, any of the 4s, but you know, for the sake of the video, let's say you have the Blitz, right? And both tamers set up. So you digivolve into this guy, pass and turn. He can Blitz, you tap both heroes. So now you have a champion, which really only costed you 2 memory to go into, right? Obviously you paid for the tamers at some point, but point being is you're swinging for 6, 8, 10,000 for 2 checks, and you could do this very, very early into the game. And you can see, you know, why that's good. Obviously you can have multiple heroes of both of them, letting you swing for a lot of DP if you have multiple of these, or a lot of security if you have multiple of these. If you wanted to mess with the ratios and play like 3 and 3, I think that would be fine. I like the little hero because it just fits with the style of the deck because we're being so aggressive. If you don't want to play 4, you know, I could see it, but it is nice. We're just running a bunch of heroes. This is the Gammamon deck, and they just work really, really well. For options, we have quite a bit. So let me separate these. First, we have the 2 red memory boost. Again, you know, we're playing red deck. It doesn't matter what you're playing. You're gonna play memory boost. Helps you get memory so you can do the cool plays. Helps you find the pieces. These cards are actually way too good, and you should be running them pretty much everywhere. We have 3 bear claws. The Bear Claws are kind of nice. It's another way for you to get extra DP. So Bear Claw gives you 2000 DP, which is already solid. But then you can put a Gammamon underneath your stack to draw 1. So for 1 memory, you can kind of like cycle that effect, get extra DP, which lets you survive your checks. So if we go back to the scenario I was talking about, if you Bear Claw that Gammamon, now you're swinging for potentially 12,000. He's definitely gonna live, right? And it's another way for you to get cool inheribles on your Digimon, which is nice. It only costs 1, so it's cheap. It makes sense with our deck. You know, we're trying to like pierce over stuff, for example. You can give it to your level 4s, let them pierce over level 5, sometimes even level 6s. And then in security, Bear Claw lets you summon a Gammamon from your trash, or I believe hand as well. Which is nice because it just lets you continue your aggression as you want those free bodies so you can continue your aggression. So really, really nice. I'm currently trying it as a 3-off. As you'll see later though, I have a bunch of 1-cost or 1-off options. And if you wanted to play more of these, feel free to, you know, potentially cut 1 or 2 of these if you don't like it. But I do like it. Also, I know it's not called Bear Claw, but I'm calling it Bear Claw. And then we have a bunch of 1-off options. So we have 1 Guy Force, 1 Crimson Blaze. So the way I play Digimon, I like running options in security. You know, I think they're strong cards. These cards are fine, obviously. It depends on the meta, where you're trying to go up against. Guy Force better against OTK decks. Crimson Blaze better against decks that go wide, right? Which is better? It's up to you if you want to play 2 Guy Force, 2 Crimson Blaze. You can go for it. I like having sort of a mix. Crimson Blaze is pretty good from hand these days. Guy Force not as much, but sometimes you get just Guy Force somebody, right? And our last card is 1-off Gravity Crush. Gravity Crush is a card that I don't really ever play, but it is like the perfect card for this deck. Gravity Crush gives you 2 memory, and security doesn't do anything, but such is life. Now at the end of the turn, you have to give your opponent that 2 memory back. But in a deck like this, that 2 memory can mean everything. And if you win the game on the turn that you play Gravity Crush, then it has no drawback, right? So the idea is that Gravity Crush is giving you the extra memory you need to go into a Gammamon, right? To go into a Canon Wiseman to get the extra checks you need, to go into a hybrid, and then go into a Gammamon, right? It's giving you the extra memory to play a hero to get 1 more check, something like that, right? Like this deck is very aggressive, and that 2 extra memory can infinitely change the line of plays that you can do, and it just makes the deck a lot more explosive. Anyway, that is the Gammamon deck. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it. If you guys are trying your own build, let me know what you're trying. I'm curious to see how the Gammamon archetype will evolve in the future. Like I said, it's not a top tier deck by any means, but it's definitely a fun and playable deck right now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching.